What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at a scenario where civilization starts over in Europe. This is episode 12. I'm getting back to the series a little bit, so yeah, just sorry for the long break with it, but I kind of haven't been on here in a while, so don't mind me if I forget something or, whatever. So let me just make sure the recording's all good. Okay, so first thing we're going to be taking a look, or we're going to see is, hold on, let me see if I can, isn't there like a, no. Bro, I haven't been on here in so long. I know there's like a way you can color, wait, what? No, there's a way that you could like, yeah, okay, here we go. Alright, sorry about that. It's just I haven't been on here in a while, so I'm just trying to get... Also, Flip a Clip is updated a little bit, so it's kind of a little bit different now than when I used to use it. So, anyway, we're going to see some Polish expansion into this no man's region, I guess. We're also going to see them expand in Scottish, English area, like Great Britain, I guess you could say. They're also going to go through, they're going to try to get through this canal area here, like near Turkey, but they're not really going to succeed with that because they're trying to, find new things and stuff and colonize, I guess. So they scrapped that idea for now. We see some Lithuanian expansion in Ireland, just barely. Some Finnish expansion up here, just completely surrounded that lake. Anyway, also we're gonna see some Greek expansion up here, finally expanding into this territory. They don't really go too far because it would be weird if they were, like, in this area with their country being over here and whatnot, so they kind of just chill right there. And then we do see the, this country right here. They just kind of, take most of the rest of this land for the most part. Czechia was too slow, so, yeah, they took the rest of that land. Let's get the borders layer out so we could, color, whoops, wrong thing. Color in these borders. Whoops, let's retry that. There we go. Okay, so here's our new borders. So, there we go. As you can see, the entire Balkan area has been, it's expanded, okay? So that's nice. So we have the Balkan area expanded. There has been a lot of tension in this area. Let me make sure I'm not on the border layer real quick while I'm drawing. There's been a lot of tension along this area. Czechia is not really into it much. It's mainly with these three countries. And these two countries, Greece and whatever this is, are close together. This country's planning on joining the Circle Alliance soon, which, as you can see, is the alliances here. We have Greece, Bosnia, Czechia, and Turkey, and then I think this country here. All 5 of those countries are in the alliance, so this country is going to join soon, probably. And then they'll have this entire front line here, and possibly here, but they honestly don't know about the Czechian country, what they'll do yet, because the Czechian country still does kind of like Poland. So, yeah, so we have 2 occupation zones still, which I'm going to turn into countries soon. Yeah, I'm going to see, let's do like a, think. Okay, cool. So that didn't even... Okay, so the Austrian country has finally been, released from whatever that was. And this country also has been released. Actually, no, I don't want it like that. I just realized France is right there. Or whatever that country's supposed to be. We'll do it like that. And make sure it's not interfering with anything. Oh, whoops. It's not interfering with anything. Okay, we're good. Just like to make sure. Alright, so we have two new countries. We have an Austrian country and a Benelux country that have just formed and been released. The Austrian type country used to be part of Germany or Prussia, whatever. So, yeah, that's why they haven't been released yet. And the Benelux country, I don't really know why I didn't release that earlier, because they did stuff in the war, but they weren't, a huge part of the war, They weren't part of Germany. They were just an ally, I guess. So I just realized, is Denmark not in the Triangle Alliance? Huh, that's weird. Here's the trade routes. I forgot we even had these, so I'm just kind of checking everything out. Anyway, so there's some stuff that's happening right now. So, the Austrian country is forced to join the, Triangle Alliance because it just got released. And the Circle Alliance isn't really happy with this because they were hoping to get a new ally here, and also they're mad at Poland for forcing somebody to be an ally of them. So the Benelux country is fine because they're kind of over there, so they can't really do much anyway. I'm also going to add Denmark to the alliance too because they should be in the alliance. I mean, they quite literally helped in the war. I don't know why I didn't ever add them. So, yeah, they're in the Triangle Alliance. They've been in the Triangle Alliance. I just forgot to add it. Anyway, there's some conflict here, okay, on the border. Greek soldiers have just, killed a few Polish soldiers on the border. And this is insane because this is going to start another conflict, like it's going to. So Poland opened fires on Greece because of what just happened. So they immediately advance into Greek territory. And then this country here, the dark green country, immediately responds and sends troops up into Poland. Ukraine just joined the war, and Lithuania is sending supplies. So the Polish country is, hold on, let's see if I can. Okay, so the Polish country is fine. They actually advance from here and try to cut off the dark green soldiers. Now the dark green soldiers are in a predicament, so they're starting to kind of not go into Poland anymore. The Greeks are getting absolutely destroyed because they didn't actually have many soldiers positioned on the border, but the few soldiers that were on the border a few of them opened fire on the Polish soldier, and then that all unfolded. So, and as we know, Poland is the most powerful country at the moment. That's what I'm calling it. It's not technically Poland, but it's where Poland is in real life. So, they just conquered all of the northern border with Greece and Poland. Ukraine has also just made a landing. Oh, whoops. I'm not good at this. Has also just made a landing up, or right here, which the Greeks actually hold that off really well, surprisingly. And this country, surprisingly, here, actually pushes back the Polish a little bit and advances again, so now they're not in as much of a predicament. They advance into Greek territory. They're not actually taking it, but they're, trying to help Greece. They push the Polish, all the way out of their territory, surprisingly, even though this country is not that strong yet, but they're doing pretty good, considering that they are kind of small and new. So Greece actually kind of repels this landing. There's still a small area, but the Ukrainians are stuck, so they're wanting aid from the Polish, or they need aid from the Polish. So the Polish decide to come down and try to meet up with them, but the Greeks hold them off for a little bit because they know what their plan is. So, but in the meantime, the Polish are going to try to advance towards this city here and try to make a city. They also push back this Greek Bosnian country, whatever, the dark green country, a little bit. They make a little bit of advancement up here. However, this country here is kind of protected for now because their capital's here, and Greece and this country have already made a defensive line that they're going to do. It's going to come along right here and border along Greece like that, so there'll be a defensive line there. So as you can see, actually, the defensive line comes into play right here. Actually, hold on. The defensive line comes into play right here. The Polish can't quite reach Ukraine, but they make it to the defensive line. Hold on. There we go. They make it to the defensive line on this part. They're so close to the Ukrainians, but they can't get there. This city's, getting exploded and stuff right now, as we know. The defensive line is holding up pretty good, though, for them. Whatchamacallit. So, Turkey starts sending supplies to here. This country starts sending supplies to Greece. They're sending supplies to Greece because they're in the Circle Alliance. Meanwhile, the Ukrainians here are struggling. Hold on. I'm trying to get this thing to freaking work. There we go. The Ukrainians are struggling, but they did make a little bit of a push. They actually couldn't get up to the Polish because... Or, sorry, not the Polish. They couldn't get up to the Polish because the Greeks have, a defensive line here, too. It's kind of weird, the way they have it. It's their defensive line goes from, here all the way down, and then it comes through here, and then kind of stops there. That's what the defensive line looks like right now. So, Poland can't really make a push right now because they're kind of stuck at the defensive line, but they're working on it. They, for the most part, push this Bosnian Greek country out of their country, and they do that. They fully push out and then into this. So now the Bosnian country, or Greek Bosnian country, dark green country is finally losing a little bit. The Polish make advancements into here and get super close to the city, which they almost take it, but, they didn't end up taking it yet. Dark green soldiers are starting to retreat because Poland is getting insanely close to encircling them, which they probably will if they don't, work on defending. Poland has broken through the defensive line of Greece, and they are heading south. They also break through up here because now the soldiers are going crazy, trying to, regain control of it. The city falls into Polish hands, and the Ukrainians and Polish still have not met up yet. The defensive line is still strong there, but Poland has pretty much broken the entire defensive line. So as you can see, what's happening here is there is a you could see where the defensive line kind of is. There's this weird circle thing. But the Greek soldiers decide to retreat because they all get encircled here. So Ukrainians and Polish finally meet up, and they have pushed the Greeks far back, and they have encircled this country's troops, or a lot of them at least. And it seems now that Greece kind of messed up by shooting some Polish soldiers, because as you could see, it's not playing out well for them. Anyway, so now something surprising happens. So, you know how I was saying this Czechia country is kind of split between both sides? Well, the Czechian country decides to invade Poland. Like, straight up, they just invaded Poland, even though they kind of helped. They didn't help in the war, I don't think, but they're just invading Poland now. They have sent out a ton of troops to the front lines and surprised Poland, for sure. They have also invaded Austria, which is part of the Triangle Alliance, as you could see. I just realized I didn't add their capital yet, but this is their capital. What?
I said me and Mom were going to Five Below. Do you want anything?
Cheez-Its or a snack.
M&M's?
Or that too, yeah. Okay, if you hear me talking, I'm recording a video.
Okay.
And just close my door, please. Thank you. Anyway, they invade Austria, which actually makes Prussia a bit mad, or Germany, whatever, because Austria is full of Germans, because it used to be part of Germany. So Prussia is a bit mad. They don't like Poland. They don't like Czechia now. They don't like anybody, so they're just kind of, they can't, if they join the war, they're going to get obliterated by Poland, period, because they can't, their army is so weak right now. So they're doing their best to try to help Austria, but Austria's kind of cooked at the moment because they have no army, hardly. Poland is like I said, Poland's very surprised though by this Czechian invasion, but luckily they're able to hold off this city here. So yeah, this has kind of turned into a big war, as you could see. So Prussia is determining whether they want to join the war or not, though, because of Austria. But for now, we're going to see Poland trying to encircle these troops. But as they try to, the Bosnian country pushes back. They're not attacking this Czechian country. They're just kind of taking the land back, you know. They push back the Polish, not stopping the encircling, though. So, they can't really do much about this, but yeah. So actually, these troops here make a little bit of a push, and these troops make a little bit of a push, and yes. So anyway, back to the war. Sorry if a few things are gone. I had to do something with the thing, so it's with the recording. So if some stuff are lost from the other thing, it's fine. Anyway, so we're gonna see a surprising thing happening here. So, remember how Germany was wanting to help Austria? Well, that's gonna happen. Germany is joining the Triangle side of the war. That doesn't mean they're joining the alliance, necessarily, but they're gonna be joining the Triangle side of the war to help Austria. Now, Poland is kind of mad, but they're also happy that they're going to get some support, but they're kind of mad at the same time because they don't really want Germany fighting or in the war. They don't want them to have an army, okay? Let's put it that way. So Germany immediately advances into Czechia and helps Austria, which is what they wanted to do in the first place. They completely they immediately make a lot of advancements, but remember, their army is not big. The only reason they're making a lot of these advancements is because Czechia was not prepared, because they didn't think that Germany would join the war. So there was like no men on the front lines. So, but yes, Austria is now actually doing somewhat decent because they're holding them off. So now that Germany joined the war, though, this Bosnian country here is actually going to end up joining the war. Hold on, I just realized. Hold on. My bad. I accidentally was coloring on the freaking border layer again. I just gotta redo this. Hold on. Sorry if it's not pretty. Glad I noticed that. So yeah. Anyway, the Bosnian country is going to join the war because now that Germany decided to hop in and join the fight, Bosnia is going to attack from down here so they can help Czechia out with Austria, and they seem to succeed a little bit. Remember, Bosnia had success with the Slovenian or Croatian, whatever country, last episode. So their army is not too bad. It's not the best, but it's not too bad. So they're now starting to close in with Austria. I'm going to turn the alliances off for now because we need Austria not to have a giant triangle on the country. So, anyway, Denmark readies their armies on the German border. And you may ask why. Well, they're preparing for Germany to attack any of them because Poland has most of their armies down here with Greece, and if Germany decides to betray Poland for some reason, they need to be able to go straight to Germany. Same with Lithuania. They have their armies ready on the border, so, yeah, they're ready. Anyway, Bosnia almost reaches the German border, which is kind of crazy. They're making a lot of advancements. The Czechian country is almost at the capital, which they're about to reach it in actually a second. They meet up with the Bosnians and Austria. The capital has been taken, and Austria is collapsing. So what Germany's going to do now is, now that Austria just kind of collapsed on itself with no capital, they're going to advance into Austria and take as much land as they can. Not because they're trying to eliminate Austria, but they're trying to save Austria from these guys, because Austria is like mainly German, remember? So even in this series, it's mainly German, like real life. So yeah, they're trying to. I'm gonna actually let them have some of it. So they're trying to actually save some of the Austrian people by doing this, for the most part. So what the heck? Okay. Anyway. So the Bosnians, the Germans get quite a bit of Austria, the Bosnians advance again, or Bosnia advances again, sorry, and then Germany also advances into Czechia, nearing their capital. And yes, I know this is technically not a capital city here, but I'm just pretending that that's Austria's capital. So Germany's going to keep pushing into Austria, that's their main priority, but they're also going to try to cut off Czechia, because if they could do that, then Czechia can get oofed. So, but as you can see, they have a supply line here now, so even if their actual country gets cut off, they'll still be somewhat fine for the most part, but then they could also run into Austrian resistance that could, that could mess them up. So, with the help of Germany, though, which I thought we would never see German and Polish armies fighting together, in the series, Polish armies are able to advance into Czechia and take some of this land back here, because Czechia now is focused on their main country. So, they're very focused on their main country. So, Poland advances into here, meets up with Germany, and they're they're fighting together, which is weird, but, it happens. But mainly what Germany wants from this war is to regain some control over Europe by being able to annex Austria again and maybe get some of Czechia. That's mainly what they're doing. They're trying to gain some of their land, so. Alright, so we see Germany advancing, and Czechia has officially made some sort of defensive line. Germany takes back the Austrian capital. But yeah, Germany has made some sort of Czechia has made a defensive line, finally. But Poland is still closing in from the back, or from the east, I should say. So, and they don't have a defensive line there yet, so they're getting absolutely cooked. They have completely left Poland, for the most part. Yeah. So, Czechia is getting absolutely destroyed. However, there was a massive push from Greece in the south. Oh, not that big. There was a massive push from the Greece in the south, and of course Ukrainian soldiers are still here. It's just that was their main part that they occupied. They take back the city, and Poland is absolutely stunned. Like, they are freaking out at the moment because Greece has just broken right through their lines. So Greece is going insane. And hold on, alright, so Prussia has, or sometimes I call Germany Prussia because it's kind of what it is. Prussia has taken Czechia's capital, and Czechia is currently just falling to whatever. So Bosnia is going to come in and just take as much land. Take as much land as they possibly can from Czechia, so they can, have Czechia, not to take land from Czechia necessarily, but to kind of keep them alive, I guess you could say. Alright, Poland's going to also advance into here. This dark green country is not going to get a lot at all because they're focusing on fighting Poland. So, Poland gets a ton of this. Germany comes in and takes most of this area here. I guess we could let Bosnia have the rest of this. And we have some Czechian resistance down here. I know I said the dark green country would take that, but Czechian resistance is on the dark green border. So, as you can see, Czechia has been fully occupied. Now it's just the dark green country and Greece and the rest of the Circle Alliance. So, yeah. So that is going to do it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys in the next one, which will be in World War II Part 2. That's what I'm going to end up calling this because that's kind of what it is, I guess. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.